Hi guys, Materim here with another narrative battle report. Now this one has the Bretonnians under Lord Alphoneous Serpine facing off the Dwarfs of Clan Hammerfell. Now, just a little note as far as where this falls into the timing of the narrative. This battle, which should be battle report number 19, actually takes place simultaneously in the story with our previous battle report 18. So they're designed where you can frankly watch either one of them in either order and the story will come out. So let's go ahead and get into the narrative and get this thing underway. Gat the Old approached the Bretonnian camp warily. Even from a distance, the activity of the camp was obvious, as was the fact that a battle had recently been fought here. The old ogre ignored the peasants who were on grave duty, even though his passing sent them fleeing for their knightly lords. One such knight approached Gat before he even reached the edge of the camp. The knight came forth, with weapon bared, till he saw the length of white cloth tied to the end of Gat's club. "What purpose do you have here, monster?" the knight called out. "I bring a message to your lord from tyrant Tokron Face-Crusher," the ogre growled. The peasants who stood behind him were warning the knight not to trust the ogre, but the warrior paid no attention to the low-born rabble surrounding him. "If you will honor the flag of truce, so shall we. Follow me, ogre." The knight escorted Gat through the camp, and the fleeing of the peasants brought a smile to the old ogre's face. Before long he was brought into the tent of Lord Alphoneous Serpine. The Bretonnian lord looked exhausted, and his face still bore a bruise he had received from Tokron's hammer. Gat thought that the man was truly favored by some god to not have had his head crushed by that mighty blow. "What message does your master bring me?" the human said, squaring his shoulders in expectation of bad news. Gat smiled at the choice of words. "My master bids me tell you that he knows of the location of the pearl you seek, and he is willing to sell you this information." The look on Alphoneous' face brightened at the thought of getting his prize without further battle against the mighty ogres. "What is his price?" "His weight in gold," the old ogre responded. Lord Alphoneous paled at those words. After his two most recent battles against the ogres, he could sell everything he had left and not be able to come up with such an excessive amount of gold. "That price is beyond us," he sighed. "Perhaps not, human. We know of an abandoned mine that exists not far from your camp. It is too small for my people to work, and the Noblars are not suited to such things. Your peasants could work such a mine, however, and meet our price." "But such a mine would no doubt be in the lands claimed by the tribe of Corn that attacked us," Lord Serpine responded. "Bah!" Gat waved his hand dismissively. "The northern tribes are cowards and raiders. They struck here because your main force was facing us. Bring the whole might of your camp to lay claim to the mine, and they'll not bother you." It was a good point, thought Lord Alphoneous. The ogre is more observant than he had given him credit for. And if he claimed the pearl with less bloodshed and loss of life, then greater honor would be his. "Tell your master that we accept his terms, but such an amount of gold will not be quickly obtained." "Go and take the mine. Tokron will give you time to gather his tribute," the old ogre replied. The lord nodded and waved for his knight to escort Gat out of the camp. As the ogre moved beyond the sight of the Bretonnian guards, his features began to flow and change. Soon the image of Gat the Old was gone, replaced by those of Chiron the Tamer, a herald of Slaanesh. She spoke a spell to have the winds carry her words to her mistress, Melisandre the Keeper of Secrets. "I have completed my task, great mistress. The Bretonnians will move in force to the dwarf's mine." The voice of Melisandre replied. "Excellent. Let us see what the obsession of Lord Serpine has him do when innocents stand in the way of his ambitions." So, taking the ogre at his word, Lord Serpine assigned the prophetess Aveline to take a regiment of peasant workers to the abandoned mine to claim it and begin mining for gold. Only to find out that this mine was very much claimed by the Dwarfs of Clan Hammerfell, who were in no mood to surrender their last remaining holding to yet another group of humans. So our battle begins. So we'll start with Bretonnian deployment. In the back, they have a trebuchet on top of a building. In front of that is a unit of 10, or maybe that's 16 peasant bowmen in that unit. And also, there's another 10 peasant bowmen to the side of that building. In front is a vanguarded unit of 5 mounted yeomen, and a big old brick of 52 men-at-arms with full command. In that unit is a damsel of the lady with the prayer icon of Quesnel, as well as the paladin BSB of this unit, who has the Morning Star of Fracassa, the Enchanted Shield, and the Virtue of Empathy. And then next to that, there is the Grail Reliquary with 30 battle pilgrims, another unit of 10 archers. Then on top of the hill, there is a trebuchet and a paladin on Royal Pegasus with a berserker sword, the Dragonbane gem, potion of foolhardiness, and the virtue of noble disdain. And for the forces of Clan Hammerfell, we have from left to right a unit of 10 thunderers with standard bearer and musician. We have the Gyro Bomber, Old Greta. Next to that is a unit of 15 quarrelers, and with that unit is Banar Goldfist, the battle standard bearer of the clan, who has the Master Rune of Valia and 2 runes of slowness on his banner. Next to that is a unit of 20 dwarf warriors with shields, being led by Prince Doran Oathkeeper, who has the Oathstone and runic armor with the Master Rune of Grommel and 2 runes of iron on it. Next to that is a unit of 20 hammerers with that have been joined by Genny Debrinson, a runesmith with runic armor with a rune of stone on it and a runic talisman with 2 runes of spellbreaking. On top the entrance of the mine, you see a cannon, and in the distance there you can see the gyrocopter Mad Malik has vanguarded up. There's also a unit of 10 miners that will come onto the board later. So the dwarves got turn 1, and I started out by marching Old Greta over here to to my left, hopefully to drop some bombs on that whole side of the flank. And Mad Malik marched to behind his line so I can be in a good position to start thinning down some of those big infantry blocks before they get up on me. So shooting, I started out with my cannon hopefully to take out one of the trebuchets. Ended up landing a cannonball right on its head and inflicting a single wound. So it looks like my luck from the last battle as far as my artillery goes is still sticking right with me. And really this is terrible. I can't, with the size of my units, I need to take out one or both of those trebuchets, and I need to do it quick. But then, I guess I did this out of order, but just to show you, I think I at this point I was tired and wasn't taking many pictures. But Bretonnian's first turn, they drop a rock, or 2 rocks on the cannon. First one is a direct hit but fails to wound. Second one is also a direct hit and does 6 wounds, so they blow the cannon to Kingdom Come. So I'm not going to get rid of those trebuchets immediately. The archers end up putting a wound on Old Greta. I think Old Greta might have dropped a bomb on the mounted yeoman who used to be there. I'm sorry, I'm missing some pictures of this. I was on some pretty killer painkillers at this point. But you see, he's moved his Pegasus up there to hide. And as you can see from this picture, both of his infantry blocks just ran up like crazy. His archers swift reformed and shot Mad Malik and put a wound on the gyrocopter. So yeah, I still think moving him behind the lines like that was a good call. I think him taking a wound from archers was not what the math should have shown, but whatever. So we go to Dwarf turn 2, because there's still no combat yet. My miners come up right behind the building with this trebuchet in it, because I am bound and determined to kill one of those damn things before they can destroy what little I have in the way of troops. And considering my biggest unit here is only 20 men, or 20 dwarves, I guess, those trebuchets, particularly with the way Lord Alphoneous rolls them, can just annihilate them. Oh no, here are those mounted yeomen. I'm sorry. This has been 2 days ago now. But you can see basically where his mounted yeomen have come up. I actually move up my warriors there on the side to basically absorb the first attack from the Pegasus, from the other stuff. And I still don't think that's a good idea. And my deployment here was crap because my hammers are way off to the right. I'm making dumb mistakes with the new army, and it frankly doesn't take a genius to capitalize on this. And this player has been really practicing with his Bretonnians and is more than able to make it make it up to me. Um, so Mad Malik jumps over the archers again, so he can get up there on those mounted yeomen and hopefully melt them and get them out of the way. So yeah, the Thunderers blow the two remaining mounted yeomen here to Kingdom Come, which is frankly exactly what they should have done. And I probably should have done that on turn one instead of having to wait this long to have it done. But at this point, I'm griping for no good reason, which I guess means that I'm a good dwarf player, because I've been griping a heck of a lot since I started playing them. And then I move the Old Greta here behind them. I end up dropping a bomb. It scatters in between the men-at-arms and the battle reliquary and kills, I think it kills 3 or 4 peasant or men-at-arms, but only 1 battle pilgrim. So I definitely don't like that. Those battle pilgrims can hold stuff up for a while, and I need them to go away. So we go into Bretonnia, turn 2, I guess it is. He sends, this white Pegasus is the one with his prophetess on it. So she's coming down here to throw spells down my side. She's got, is of beast, so she has the, what is it, the spear, the ember spear, so she's basically going to wreck my face with that, or at least try. His infantry units are basically ignoring what little piddling I can do to them, and they're just going to run down my face. And I'm very worried about this. I have really not a whole lot, unless I get real lucky, that can handle that 52-man brick of men-at-arms. And my hammers, which is what I need to do to do that, are way out of position, and it's going to take them a while to get into this fight. And this just kind of shows where everything is. He ended up flying, couldn't get the charge on it because he was facing the building, couldn't see me. So he positions that Pegasus right behind my Quarrelers, so he's going to tear them up. And really, I mean, you can see how bad my positioning here is. My 2 combat blocks are way away from the action. I'm just kicking myself from the start of this, and I'm unhappy about it. So, Bretonnia's... His freaking laser-guided trebuchet blows the back rank off of my Quarrelers with yet another direct hit. Oh no, this wasn't the direct hit. He actually tried shooting at the warriors to kill them, drifted just enough to direct hit right over the Quarrelers, and blow the back rank off them, which is the last thing they need before they end up taking a paladin up the ass. And then, as stupid as this is, those archers swift reform again and shoot and kill Mad Malik with normal strength 3 arrows. I couldn't roll a single armor save with him. I mean, it was ridiculous. He ended up shooting, I think, doing 4 wounds, and I didn't save a single one of them, which the math is just bothering me at that having happened. But I don't even remember what happened here. I guess this is my next turn. So yeah, it's my next turn. That was the end result of the bombs. I did have a bomb, flew over with old Greta, had a bomb go off, ended up catching both units again, and actually did some damage. Took a lot of guys out, so I was pretty happy with that. Um, and I don't know why I've shown that twice. Maybe okay, yeah, that's from the other shooting. The Quarrelers and the Thunders did end up stripping another wound off of the Battle Pilgrims. So at this point, the Battle Pilgrims are I'm kind of happy with where they're at. It's I've thinned them down to about half. I know they're still going to be troublesome. The problem is I've had to put so much into them. I haven't done anything on the main unit. And this goes to show you in combat. I guess I forgot to take a picture of the actual charge, but my miners charged in and obviously destroyed his trebuchet. I mean, he only had 3 guys left on it, so that was pretty much going to happen. But they still managed to kill one of the miners. So the trebuchet crew claimed a miner, and I claimed a trebuchet. But that's pretty much where the good news ends, because we go into uh, Bretonnia turn, and he fails a charge with the men at arms, and stood and shot, so I took off like 3 of those. Then the battle pilgrims get in the front of those thunders, and the paladin gets into the back of the quarrelers. So I'm thinking I'm screwed. I actually, you can see in that top corner, I moved the hammers in the building just to save them some time of getting around it, hoping that they'll get something going. And over here you see he just repositions his caster on the Pegasus so that he'll be able to get a shot at the warriors or the hammers in the building for Amber Spear, or still be close enough for buff spells on those guys. So he's hoping for a pretty good magic phase, but I managed to stop him from getting buff spells off, but he does end up slamming an Amber Spear right down the flank of the warrior unit and taking off 4 of them, which hurt. Really, I think I might have well, I'm pretty sure at this point I have my combat bricks just too small. 20 men is just not good enough, so when you peel off 4 at a time, it's going to hurt. So he ends up killing, in combat, he ends up killing like 4 of the Quarrelers, but the Quarrelers have great weapons, so they turn around and just butcher the shit out of his paladin on the Pegasus. And he ends up dying where he stood, which I was thrilled with. That unit's at this point still too small to do anything, but I felt pretty happy about that. And we pretty much trade wounds here. I did 3 to him, he did 2 to me. He charged, but at this point I'm still stubborn. Or no, I'm not stubborn. I'm leadership 9 or something. I'm well enough starting off from the dwarves' point of view that I'm good. But he does, by this point, I think the Pegasus actually killed my BSB, so I don't have rerolls. So on the next dwarf turn, my warriors, needing to just get into battle, they charge the flank of the big old man-at-arms brick here. And all I can hope for at this point is just the fact that my dwarves are just so much better individually than these men-at-arms that I'll win combat, even if he's stubborn. I'm hoping to start just whittling him down so when the hammers get here, they can put in work. So I move the gyrocopter over that unit of archers and blow them up. So they're fleeing now. And I even think the other unit back there might be fleeing, or maybe not yet. Maybe they're fleeing from the Yeah, I think that's it. I think that, so yeah, I blew up the one unit that was behind the building, and both of the other archer units panicked at this point. So I am sorry. I want to take a moment just to apologize for how piecemeal this battle report sounds. It was like 10:30 by the time we got to this battle, and like I said, I've been on some pretty crazy pain meds, so I'm actually having a lot of trouble remembering how this battle went. But I'm doing my best, and that's all I hope you guys could ask of me. Um, And so here we go. I end up peeling off one more Battle Pilgrim in combat. He ends up doing no more wounds, but either I win and I succeed, or he wins and he's stubborn. Um, I don't remember which, but either way, we're not going anywhere right now. So that's the thing to remember. Over here, I actually peel off a whole back rank of this unit, which I thought was fantastic, and I didn't take a single wound. Unfortunately, they're stubborn, and there's a paladin in there who's their BSB, so they're like re-rolling eights. So he wasn't going to break. My only hope was that he wouldn't turn around and face me at this point, and that hope got dashed against the rocks, so he reforms pretty easy. And so on his turn, he does a great thing here. He's only got two of these mounted yeomen left, but he parks them right the hell in front of my hammerers who came out of the building last turn. So he's bought himself at least another turn of me having to kill these things before I can get anybody else into the fight. So, I mean, this is expert textbook chaffing, and it's working for him. So in combat this turn, he finally breaks and runs down my Thunderers with the Grail Reliquary. Obviously, my archers aren't going to break because they're still dwarves, even if there's no BSB, and they're just barely within the range uh, of the Dwarf Lord. But not anymore, because like I said, he at the end of last combat, he reformed and got to bring that whole horde up to my dwarves. And my Dwarf Lord, for the second straight combat round, completely whiffed. Four attacks, needs threes to hit, threes to wound, and I got nothing. So they ended up, I needed insane bravery, they broke and were run down. Um, at this point, just because I want the points for it, Greta is, as this goes into I think my last turn, Greta flies over that one, or that fleeing unit of archers, kills all but one of them, and stays where she is, where you see her there. So I don't even get points for them. That dude ends up running like literally half the length of the board in the next turn and turn and a half or whatever. So I'm just annoyed at that. I do think I ended up running down the other unit. But so in my charges, I basically charged the other the archers into that unit as well, with the hopes that I would have some forward momentum and be able to get into the side of that big men at arms unit. But the stupid thing is the freaking men at arms still managed to kill one of the hammers, even before they got stomped. So I end up. Okay, I think this is. Okay, I did overrun with both groups, so I did. I didn't even kill all of the dudes. I ended up having to chase them down and got them. So I end up here. Or goodness, did I? No, I reformed and he charged me. That's what this is. So this is on his turn. He's reformed the Grail Reliquary to the back of me. So we go into combat. I'm sorry, this game is going very badly, so I'm taking fewer and fewer pictures. But he ends up. I mean, I've got one of the gunmen left, and he's just killing hammers left, right, and down the center. And as soon as he brings that Grail Reliquary into my ass, it's over, and we both know it. And over on the left, you can actually see the archer who's running there, who's been running from the other side of the freaking board. So on his next turn, he does charge into the back. So yeah, I must have charged into him on my last turn. But yeah, ultimately it doesn't matter, because he's going to bring this this Grail Reliquary unit into my back, and even with being able to peel some of them off and get some extra combat results from that. He ends up just breaking both units, chasing them down. So this is actually the last picture of the game, and I was pretty much eliminated. The only thing I had left is one gyro bomber and my unit of miners that are way too far away to do anything. Um, so yeah, I again apologize that this was such a rambling battle report, but this was kind of how the battle felt to me. It's like every time I turned, I got kicked in the teeth by some freaking peasant, and so maybe this is the confusion that I feel that I'm giving on to you all as a gift, because I just don't see how these peasants should have defeated dwarves. Prophetess Aveline stared out towards the rocky face of the mine's entrance. The lowborn had been working all night to get it going again. They fought so bravely against the dwarves who guarded the mine, more so than some of the bravest knights. Watching them throw themselves without fear or hesitation to protect the holy icon of the reliquary never ceased to amaze her. The lady's blessings were not so easily given out nor received, and those that guard such things are honored by all. She was brought out of her thoughts by a knock at the door behind her. She saw Devon, the last of the archer bowman units assigned to her escort. He had approached her last night after the battle for reassignment, feeling remorseful that he had fled after his comrades were killed by a dwarven miner unit. She had now appointed him as one of her guard to keep an eye on him, and to rebuild his faith in himself and the lady. "What is it, Devon?" "Begging your pardon, me lady, but Lady Chandra has arrived and asked to see you." "Thank you, Devon. Let her in." The archer bowed and moved away from the door. The lady knight entered and bowed in respect as his custom. Aveline and Chandra had been friends since birth, but each had been called to different paths by the blessed lady. Yet their friendship remained as strong as the knight's loyalty to the lady herself. "It's good to see you, Lady Chandra. I was expecting Lord Alphoneous, but I am blessed by your presence as well." "Thank you, prophetess. My lord has sent me to gather an update of what has happened here. I saw flying in that it was not an abandoned mine, as we were led to believe." "No, I'm afraid not, my friend. The dwarves attacked us the moment of our arrival. They had a hatred in their eyes I had not seen in them before. They gave us no opportunity to talk. But the lowborn fought well. Sir Durin was severely injured, and his steed lost when he was struck down by the dwarvish archers. Sir Thomas led the men-at-arms bravely as they broke the Lord's unit. We allowed the survivors to leave and even offered to help those that were injured, but they left without a word. It appears they were also attacked by the vile blood god's forces as well, for reasons that I do not know. Our scouts have heard tales of the battle as we began setting up the mine. We have secured it now and have begun mining operations. For what I've been informed, this mine will pay off the ogres and supply us for quite some time." "Excellent. My lord is sending knight units to take over guarding the mine to allow the peasants to return to their work. I'll be remaining as well after informing Lord Alphoneous of what has happened. He's returning home to gather more troops and will join us later. You've done well, my friend. The lady has blessed us this day." "Yes, as she always does. But I do feel that we've not seen the last of the dwarves. They'll not take this loss easily and may well return in force. And there's something else. I cannot yet see it clearly, but there are other forces at work here. Our Lord's quest has caused a ripple in the waters of these lands. This small ripple may end up causing waves that could carry far outside our own crusade. I have a fear that these small battles are only the beginning." Aveline was lost in thought for a moment, and did not hear the small pebble being kicked outside the window, or the figure moving away. He returned to a hidden cove nearby where a small camp had been set up. The cloaked figure grabbed a brace of pistols and a small backpack, and mounted his small brown and white horse, muttering the word "heretic" as he rode off to the south. So, another very decisive defeat for the dwarves. The Bretonnians and their peasant force just whipped me. Again, there was some bad dice luck involved, but again, I think I was defeated because I'm thinking too much like an ogre player. My deployment was bad. I mean, there's no excuse for it. It was terrible. And I'm used to the ogres with like a move of 6, march of 12. Even if you make some mistakes in deployment, you can fix them fairly quickly. I really, if I'm going to keep playing the dwarves, I really have to really focus on deployment and early movement, to not make these kind of mistakes. I also need to focus on not playing this game when I'm on so many painkillers. I'm fairly certain. Like even looking at this battle report now, I'm looking at some of the slides I did and was like, why did I even do these things? And I have, in all honesty, I have very little recollection of this battle. And I'm sure you all realize it now with as kind of slipshod as the battle report turned out. And again, I'm sorry for anybody who's wasted 30 minutes of their life listening to me ramble about this. But the story goes the Bretonnians have claimed their mine. They will be able to pay off the ogres to recover or to gather the information as to the location of the pearl. And now we have seen two shadowy forces that may have interest in what's going on. So definitely hoping to keep everyone interested and excited to find out what's going on. We're very excited for kind of where the narrative is going to take us in the next few weeks. So we're definitely looking forward to all that. Again, like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, comment if you did or didn't. And again, any ideas, suggestions, comments will be well viewed and well taken. And I'd love to kind of get more people's feedback about how you guys are liking the narratives. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback for it so far. We're having a good time doing it, and I definitely want to make it something that kind of sets us apart as far as a YouTube channel goes, and really makes our battle reports special and unique and something folks want to listen to. So definitely, again, apologies for the rambling nature of this one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it somewhat anyway. So thank you, and we'll catch you next time.